Hey everyone, I'm done with work for today, so let's go to our secondary job, which is FFBE. At least sometimes it feels like that. And we'll be starting this off with the Slagworm. It's an insect type boss weak to lightning. This is the team I'll be going for. The only thing I saw was Sinsar's thumbnail with Choo Choo, so I think going for this team is a little bit overkill. The only unit that is really necessary to go for the 20 billion damage cap. Well, it's not necessary, but it makes things so much easier. That is Esther. Esther on her own caps this fight super comfortably. One could also go for a true dual wielded cane. That should also solve all problems of yours. But I didn't expect this to be so easy. So I went full overboard apparently. This is the team. Let's check it out. We've got Lara here, who is on Mirage duty. We don't need, technically, we don't need it. She's on 10,000 needles in base, has her own vision card. Brave Shift, she has the leftover gears pretty much. So this is what she's rocking. Rest assured, she is just here to do the 90% break onto the boss. Next up is a Sage of Thunder Sakura. She is on Spira's Ray of Light, has mana reduction stuff, base Brave Shift, sorry, dual wielding with Spira's Ray of Light. We don't technically need dual wield, I just realized. A single wield is enough, so let's remove this. She's on Summer Parasol. We need some Esper Fill rate. We need at least 3 Esper Fill on turn 4, which is the kill turn. Behemoth Synergy by default does 2, so you need 1 Behemoth Synergy and Summer Parasol. That solves all your issues because Sage's support is a single hit attack. It takes 1 Evo gauge, but you need baseline 3. This recovers 3 Evo gauge, but it also costs 1, so you need 3 to start with. You ensure this by using some gear. Other than that, yeah, that's fine. We don't need anything else. Next up is Eurasia. Eurasia is our passive provoke evasion unit with Dancer's Celestial Diadem, which is full provoke right away. She has resistances, which we don't need, but the most important part is that she's on Lightning Fast Legend, which is the enabler for Esther. And yeah, that's it. Brave Shift, not geared. We're not using that. So EX0, Eurasia, absolutely fine. Esther is on full DPS duty. She's got the best gear as she can cap this on her own. So this is the stuff. She's super easy to build. We have room for GF extension, for example. Very nice. She's got 300 insect. She also casually capped Machina, Demon, Stone, and Reaper. So I guess Esther thinks capped to 5 races without any effort. She's just too good. And 300 LB, of course. She is using the Epine card, the sort of crystal one. If you don't have it, use her own card if yours is the X plus 3. Or the old global exclusive True Double Hand card. It's also super fine. And if you also don't have that, just pick whatever, really. Just whatever. Next up, Sephiroth. Tile with the Spirit is the only thing you need. The rest doesn't matter in the base form. Brave Shift, just gear him for whatever, honestly. I get him with some decent bug killer stuff. However, he isn't the best in this case, so he's got 300 LB, 155 insect. Secondary, DPS is a Dragoon Cane. I built him for True Double Hand. Technically speaking, you should build him for True Dual Wield until March 17th when the variants update rolls around. But if you're watching this after the 17th of March, this is the build you want to go for. So this is the stuff, and he is maxed out on killers, 300 insect, 800 jump, the necessary stuff. Make sure to equip Indestructible Light, as he only is 5x cap innately, and he's using his own vision card. That's it for the team. Let's get started. 4 turns of insect bustin'. Alrighty, so we are going to start this with Dragoon Kane. You've got nothing to fear. Holy Thunder Stance, Impulse Drive, Esther, just guards. Sephiroth will just use his Limit Burst. It does not deal any damage as long as you imbue after that. So Sakura is going to True Thunder Stance. We're gonna wait for Sephiroth to finish. There we go. Can send in Dragoon Kane as well. Lara is going to do 10,000 needles. We don't need this though on turn 1. We could also just LB fill for Esther, but I put it off, so we don't need it. We're gonna do some LB filling with Eurasia though. Anti-magic, anti-force. There we go. It's not much, but it's honest work for Esther. So the boss does one single attack. That one misses. We're fine. Alright, so on turn 2, Kane is going to jump, but before we do that, there are a few other actions that have to take place. Seth is going to base Purging Blade and Fallen Angel. Esther is going to Brave Shift, and she's going to just use Electromagnetic Shield, which is a cover, but most importantly, it is also a Lightning Absorb. So that is super important because on turn 3, the boss does a fixed all-target lightning attack. You cannot mirage this. It is fixed damage, so you will always take the hit. However, absorbing hits means you're not taking them, and absorption is not taken into account for the damage taken formula. So that's fine. Sakura is going to Limit Burst. But before that, we do Purging Blade with Sephiroth, so he deals minimal damage to the boss. Alrighty. Eurasia is going to double. Where is she? There it is. We're gonna do Insect Stratagem for the 100% Insect Killer. And we'll do Unyielding Stratagem because on turn 2 or 3, I'm not quite sure which one it is, the boss does an AoE paralysis effect, and not everyone on the team is immune to that naturally, so we need an outside source. So let's do Sakura. Oops, that was the wrong Sakura ability. Now I need to reset because I forgot to shift Sakura. Excuse me for that. Feels bad, man. Now I have to wait until this finishes. But at least I can just immediately click all the stuff. I feel so dumb when this happens. I've been playing around with Super Limit Burst units way too much lately, and I forgot that Brave Shift exists. Brave Shift is superior. Come on. Let me then take a sip from my orange juice. Here's loading times. There we go. So let's repeat this. So Sakura shifts and limit bursts for the 45% amp and 350% stats. Now for Esther, none of this matters because Esther is way more self-sufficient, but it's important for Kane, Sephiroth, and to some degree Lara Croft. So Esther also shifts and uses the electromagnetic shield. Seth goes back to base, purging, double, and fallen. And Eurasia, insect, unyielding. Let's do this. Lara is going to do 10,000 needles for Esther because Esther now covers the hit she's about to take and she is not full evasion, meaning we need a stack of Mirage for her. Dragoon Kane is fully powered up, so he jumps. So there is Crash, but Esther just dodges that, easy peasy. So we can shift back Esther, and now it's time to do Calm Before the Storm, 30% Greatsword in Peril, LB fill, 300% LB boost, LB modifier increase, the good stuff basically. We're also going to use True Storm Brand. This is a 60% lightning amp. It also imbues her. We are already imbued, but the amp is higher. It's also a 135 imperil, and it does 35 LB crystals out of 100. And to top her off in terms of LB gauge, we're going to use Energizing Bunny. That's the only reason why we are using this. We don't want to touch the boss as much as necessary. As you can see, the boss is already at 87%. Let's not overextend here. And if your Esther hasn't filled her LB by now, we can fill this up with Anti-Magic and Anti-Force. There's nothing else for Eurasia to do anyway. And we'll use Judgment Bolt with Sakura for the Ramu field. Make sure to do this after Esther, or else Esther is going to do even more damage, and you don't want that. Lara is going to do 10,000 needles. Sephiroth is going to use Typhus's Spirit. Alright, we're done. The boss does crash. Here's the Thunder Breath, the fixed damage, but Esther just absorbed this. So Esther's going to limit on the final turn. Sephiroth Brave Shifts and limits. Kain is going to land. Eurasia is going to do the Extreme Nova frames with Lightning Element. Lara is going to 90% defense break with Volatile. And here is the triple Sage support from Sakura. We're gonna start this off with Lara and Sakura and send in the rest pretty much immediately thereafter. So let's go. Send. There goes Esther. Oh yeah, that last hit of Esther did 9.99 billion on its own. Kain landed at 8.7 billion. We overcapped by double the amount necessary. So that was easy, but we needed Esther for that, so if you don't have Esther, yeah, like I said, oops, Esther did cap damage on her own, unsurprisingly. Sephiroth did cap damage as well, which is cool. And Kain, well, he's still double-handing. I think I also landed him a little bit early for my liking, so he wasn't at full potential. Fine though, it's whatever. Esther carried this hard. And Lara, even though she was not really geared for this, she chipped in. She really did. And yeah, perfect score. There it is. Rank glitching out as always. And that is it for the physical domain of lightning. In the next video, I'll tackle the fire and darkness magic domain. See ya then. Bye bye.